Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back. Kellen here again with Droid Life. So I've got a Pixel 4a in front of me. You know quite a bit about this phone. We actually thought it was going to come out a few months ago. You've maybe even seen a review or two. You know what, though? I really don't care. I now have it. We now have it. Droid Life has it. We're going to take our turn with it and share what we think because, well, that's what we do on this channel. So let's kick things off here with a little Pixel 4a unboxing, shall we? Now, in case you haven't actually seen anything here, this is the Pixel 4a. This is the follow-up to the Pixel 3a. This is Google's affordable A-line phone for it's 2020. We thought this was going to come out in May. We thought there was going to be an XL version. None of that happened. We thought there might be a blue version, maybe a white version. Instead, we have one version, a Pixel 4a in just black. This is it. Sure, there could be new versions later on down the road, but for now, this is it. One phone, one color, one price, $349. So Team Pixel, shout out Team Pixel, shout out Google for sending out this review unit. Really appreciate that. This is just a quick tour of the box. There's really nothing going on here. I will say, for a $349 phone, not having to cut anything, you gotta love that. Little sticker rip action, no skimping on the packaging there. Good job, Google. We'll just drop that out there. There is the phone. It's wrapped in, actually, it just looks like the front might have a little plastic. Okay, so we did skimp there, no big deal. Let's see what's inside. We got guides. I'm not going to go into these. It's like quick start stuff. Oh, I do see a SIM removal tool there on the back, though, a little round one. Love that. And then inside here, well, we do have fast charging. I believe it is 18 watt fast charging. So a little sticker on the charger. We'll go ahead and pull that off because we just always take stickers off on this channel. So 18 watt fast charging. I know that's not 25 watt or 40 watt or 50 or 100 watt, but it's 18 watt and the battery's not massive on this phone, so it should be fine. This is a USB-C to USB-C cable, which has basically come with every Pixel Google phone for a while now. So C to C. And then this is sort of like a transfer tool. If I can get the darn thing out here. So USB-A and USB-C, and this lets you, well, transfer from your old phone to your new phone, which is now a Pixel 4a. All right, that's what's in the box. Pretty simple. Let me move this. Let's get into the phone. All right, again, if you're new and you don't know what this is, let's take plastic off there. That is the only piece of plastic. There's no plastic anywhere else. All right, again, if you're new here, Pixel 4a, $349. That seems cheap, right? The Pixel 3a last year started at $399. There was a 3a XL, I believe, at $479. And sure, we saw deals that brought those lower, but $349 undercuts all of that. And we do have some pretty nice improvements. Of course, it runs Android 10 out of the box. It'll get 3 years worth of updates, so you'll get 11, 12, 13, I guess that would be, and also monthly security patches. When there are new Pixel feature drops, you'll get those as well. So it's not a bad investment there for $350 and all of that sort of support. On the front, we'll power this on, see what happens. Please tell me there's some battery. Okay, got a little battery. Big change up front. So hole punch camera up there. Otherwise, we mostly have a top to bottom, side to side, edge to edge kind of display going on, which is amazing. 5.81 inch full HD OLED. It's not quad HD, but it's still OLED at 1080p, 19.5 by 9 if you care. Again, 1080p though. Snapdragon 730G processor on the inside. This is a 4G LTE phone though, it's not 5G. You have 128 gig storage on the inside, which is quite a jump up. I think the Pixel 4 from last year, which is Google's flagship, still starts at 64 gigs. So you have more storage than the bottom line Pixel 4, which starts at what, $800 most days. You have 6 gig RAM, which also matches, well, the Pixel 4. So you have more storage, same amount of RAM. You see where we're going here. This is a pretty decent value. 3140, so 3,140 milliamp hour battery on the inside. Not huge, not small. With that Snapdragon 730 and the 1080p display, that should be okay. The Pixel 3a last year was a phone that lasted well into a second day on most days. And again, we have 18 watt fast charging. There is no wireless charging. Again, added cost, so they removed that. Fingerprint reader on the back here. So fingerprint reader is back as well. Single camera once again. So they didn't double up like they did with the Pixel 4. So you do have a single 12.2 megapixel shooter at f1.7. Has optical image stabilization though, which is awesome. Kind of similar again to last year. They didn't really throw a big upgrade there, but you know, Google is kind of a magician when it comes to single cameras that everyone thinks might disappoint. I'm going to assume this camera is going to be pretty good. Up front, where you have that hole punch there, that is an 8 megapixel selfie camera. I don't expect it to be great, but whatever. What else we got? AC, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth 5.1. You do have NFC in here. You know, Motorola does this thing, like they just released this phone called the Fusion Plus or something, and it has pretty similar specs to this, and like a pop-up robotic camera and all of that stuff. No NFC. Like they cut the stupidest things out, whereas Google's like, hey, $349, we'll still give you NFC. Motorola's is $400. Anyway, it's weird. So let's see, USB-C port down here on the bottom, and you will see next to it, I promise you'll see, speaker grills. Probably only one of these is actually a speaker grill. The other one's probably just a channel to the other side, but this does have stereo speakers. And up here, there is another speaker grill. So speaker or stereo speaker is not bad, huh? Up top, I kind of showed you a hint at this earlier, but it does have a headphone jack. If you still have wired headphones, does have that. I don't believe it's a fancy DAC or anything like that, but it is a headphone jack. So if you don't have Bluetooth earbuds, which probably most of you do, you can plug right in there. They weren't in the box, so you have to bring your own. And that's pretty much it in terms of specs. One size, decent set of specs, $349 price. Should we get past the software stuff and I'll just kind of show you briefly? Let's do that. Well, we made it through that stuff. Stock, well, you can't really call it stock Android. This is Google's Pixel experience Android. It's going to come close to what we would like to call stock Android, but look, Google adds a bunch of stuff to their Pixel phones now to add value to them. These aren't Nexus phones, they're Pixel phones. So like you'll have Google Discover over here. I don't have a connection right now, but you'll have Google Discover over here. You have the regular Google Launcher, Pixel Launcher app drawer. You have gesture navigation. I don't have anything open, so you can't really see that. Similar style up top that you would find on Pixel phones, and your settings. This is all pretty standard stuff that you've seen on, well, every Pixel phone. If we go down here, let's just jump into here. Android 10. This will obviously get updates to Android 11, and I'm sure once this goes live on August 20th, you can add the Android 11 beta if you want to, and then once that goes stable, all sorts of stuff in here. So anyway, here are some of those gestures. So we can slide up, you can see that. You can come in from the side to go back, swipe up to go home, swipe up and hold to get into apps. You guys have seen this. I don't really need to go over this, do I? There isn't much else to show you in terms of software. Google hasn't done a whole bunch of new stuff here, but we do have that camera. So yes, allow. There is a camera, and well, it should be nice and fast. Image stabilization, night sight. You can take pictures of the stars, all that good stuff. I don't really know what else to say. It's like the most basic Pixel phone ever, but there's something kind of brilliant about that. No, it's 60 hertz display. I didn't mention that. It's not 90 hertz or 120 hertz. So you don't get that extra smooth experience. But again, the costs are down. What I was trying to say, though, is you kind of just get the basics. And yet that's somewhat refreshing, especially when you're only paying $349 for not like the basic. Like this isn't a Snapdragon 400 series and you don't have 2 gig of RAM. Like you have 6 gig RAM, 120 gig storage, a decent sized battery, fast charging, what should be an incredible camera. Really nice size, by the way. I mean, the phone's plastic, so it feels light. I talked about the 3A last year when I had about how I loved the plastic and the lightness and not worrying about it constantly breaking because everything's covered in glass. So I already have that feeling here, but now I have more display to play with. I don't know. There's something kind of fun, even though it is kind of just a boring all black slab phone. Speaking of last year's 3A, here it is. So this is the regular 3A, not the 3A XL. So you can see this phone is actually slightly taller, little bit different design on the back. This is much more glossy. This is more of a matte finish. And this isn't really soft touch. It has like a little texture to it, kind of nice. This really smooth, and it has that sort of two-tone experience. You guys remember that? If we flip it over, the reason it's taller is because, well, you have bezel down here, bezel up here, and this phone, doesn't have any of that. It's pretty much edge to edge with just that hole punch. So similar, bigger display, basically, and in a smaller package, which is kind of what, the future is supposed to be, right? That's all I've got for an unboxing. We will dive in. We'll show you the camera, how it works, camera samples. We might have some tips and tricks. We'll write up a full review. We'll spend some time on it. I like the 3A, so I'm looking forward to it. If you guys have comments, questions, or want to know anything else, let us know. We are Droid Life. Peace.